everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey, you guys. Long time no see. How's everyone doing? I hope y'all had a great Christmas, holiday break. I hope it wasn't too stressful. I hope your houses are already clean. Mine's totally not. As a matter of fact, the cats, I was warned. And I knew it was possible. But Zelda was such a good baby last Christmas. And it was only a month and a half, 2 months after we rescued her. We never had to deal with her getting in the tree. None of the ornaments were ever on the floor. She never did any of that. Granted, she was still healing about 2 months in, so she wasn't really just like jumping all over the place. But these new babies, little baby ruined the tree like night one because he just couldn't help himself climbing all in the thing. Then mom had to join in, and then because they were doing it and not really getting in a lot of trouble for it, Zelda started doing it too. So since like last night, we've just like laid it on the ground and let them sort of like play in it, and it's broken. So at this point, it's got to go. It's gonna have to go, but that's totally fine. You know what? Oh, I kind of like the idea of just doing like it's like the green tinsel, and they just make like a tree in the corner. I think that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. I really do think that's what we're gonna do. Hey there, MDP. How are you doing? Well, I hope you sleep well. Lady Di, I just got your PayPal. I just want to say that I am so like appreciative of you. There's several of you that really just like freak me out all the time with how just supportive you guys are. We're gonna do giveaways and stuff tonight, but will you please send me your address so I can send you something? Either a hoodie or something like that. I would really like to give you something for as supportive as you. Oh, I can't even talk. See, y'all like freak me out. I swear on everything. I'm not used to like good feelings and weird stuff, so I can't even talk. Will you please send me an email so that I can send you out like a hoodie or something? Because I really want to show you how much I appreciate how like supportive you've been. You really have been super freaking awesome. Hey there, Alicia. How are you? Like I'm all like blushing and stuff. Ooh. Hey there, Becca. Yeah, 50,000 subscribers. My son, my 7-year-old, like he wants to be a YouTuber, right? So he's been following along with like how like my progression has gone and how much like I work and stuff. And he really for real wants to be a YouTuber. Like he has a game plan. All right. So he up until the 50,000 kept asking me, okay, how many left? And then he'd do the math in his head and he'd get like so excited. So it was like a cute little like run up until then. It was cute. Thank you so much. Now, tonight, I really want to answer any questions that you guys might have on the case. I know that since the footage came out, there's a lot of new people, a lot of new members, a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new viewers who aren't really sure yet because maybe they've been listening to mainstream for so long. And now that this footage has come out and they're hearing things that are being said, they're hearing things for the first time. And it's sort of like freaking them out because it can be kind of a shock when you realize how much the narrative really isn't the narrative. So I have had I've had to learn patience because for a while it was really kind of annoying whenever, you know, it would go on for so long and people would come in and they would just like bring up old stuff. And I really just had to sit back and be like, not everyone knows what we know. Not everyone has been given the chance to sit down and actually look at the documents, look at the video itself, look at the footage, go over the hearings. Most people only have time to really get the headlines, the bits and pieces. And where do you normally go for that? Mainstream. So I know there's a lot of questions. Yes, the copy and paste thing. Can you believe how asininely ignorant these people are? That's our government, bro. How do you do all of those redactions? And you can do something so simple as copy and paste and see stuff. That's crazy. I tried it on several and I couldn't get it to do anything. Now, I know that a lot of times I feel like the pages that are the most redacted are like photocopied because you can't like actually highlight it. It's like it's a picture instead of it being a document. And I'm pretty sure they did that because they probably maybe knew that you could maybe do that. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We're going to go ahead and start a giveaway right now before we get started or going any further. Right now, I think we're going to give away, let's give away a shirt. Let's give away a t-shirt. You can choose, I'll show you after. Actually, I'll pull up the store right now so I can show you, because that's what this live is for. It's to like give away stuff and tell you guys how much I appreciate you guys for being here. So let me show you the store real quick and we will get right back to it. And then we'll start going through documents, taking questions, answering stuff. And then I'm going to set a timer so that I can set the giveaway to do every X amount of time frame. So right now we're going to do a shirt giveaway. Let's do a shirt. So it can be one of the black and pink ones with the words on it. It can be the regular old school one with the words on it, or it can be the regular one with no words on it. I put this one out there because I kind of just like my monkeys. And I know a lot of people know like the 3 wise monkeys, and a lot of people like the 3 wise monkeys, and they'll be more prone to want to wear it if it doesn't have like something so personalized. You know what I mean? So type in the word shirt. Type in the word shirt, and I'm gonna see if this thing works right. It's working right now. Nightbot's got it together, but I've never done it with the word before. So let me type in the word. Okay, I'm gonna give it like 60 seconds. And then I'm going to click it. So you can, I'm going to click on your profile. We're going to do this the way we always do. I'm going to click on your profile, get the backend information. And then when you email me, I also need to see the backend information on your profile before you give me anything else so I can make sure that you're actually the right person. And only enter the merch giveaways if you're comfortable giving me a mailing address, because I have to send it somewhere. I'm also going to be giving away $50 4 different times. Right? So for those, it's just going to be like your PayPal or your Cash App. So again, only enter these if you're okay with me having your address. Okay, so I'm going to click done and choose a winner. Boise Bella want a shirt. Boise Bella. See, look, Nightbot's working today. I feel like my camera is off a little bit, and I feel like I have to fix it because that's a little bit too much. Okay. Boise Bella won a shirt. All right, that's the first merch of the night. We're gonna do merch money. We're gonna do a total of 8. So it'll be merch money, something like that. So yes, you won. Yes, you won. There you go. You won. Okay, so let me go over here and get your back end information really quick. So yeah, just send me an email and you can tell me which one of them that you want, and I'll go ahead and here's the link to the store. I'm not putting this in here because I want anyone to go and buy anything. I'm putting this in here so I can get it to her faster so she can go and see which one she wants. That's the reason. So I hardly ever even tell y'all that damn thing exists. Okay. So the next giveaway we're going to do is going to be for a hat. And it can be any of the hats. It can be any of the hats. See, Dawn told me, my 7-year-old told me, well, you have a hat and you have a shirt. So now you have to make pants. So I'm going to buy me the pants. I don't even expect anyone to buy these $50 freaking. That's the price I had to set it for. But I'm going to buy myself these just because my son told me to make them. So I have the whole fit to satisfy him. But don't buy $50 pants. Please just don't. Do not buy $50 pants. But when we do the hat giveaway, you can choose from no words. You can choose from words. You can choose from the grayscale one that I made for my dad. You can choose from the pom-pom beanie, the blue and pink. You can choose from those. Then we'll do a coffee cup giveaway where you can choose either the black or the white. And then the 4th giveaway will be like a winner's choice, hat, shirt, or coffee cup. And then in between, we're going to do $50 giveaways. So let me write these down so I don't forget who's winning what. We are going to go over the document that does have some information because I hear people saying that, and I've been hearing this for like a while, and I'm not seeing the proof of it, which is interesting because, you know, this is something that wouldn't really shock me. I'm not seeing Hippler saying that the text messages from, or like the 911 call information is being like kept sealed. I'm seeing to where he's basically like saying to redact some stuff. So I wanted to go over the document itself just so that we can get some clarity, because yeah, there's don't, it's not time for hat yet. It's not time. I'll tell you when it's time. I'm just showing you the options. We're going to do this throughout the night. Okay. So right now we're going to go over the document. So it's 8:30 and that was the one for the shirt. So the next giveaway we're going to do in 15 minutes and it'll be for $50 to either your PayPal or your Cash App. So Boise Bella was the shirt. Okay. Let me set my alarm. I don't want to Hey Bixby it because it's already on mute. Hold on. Hopefully it'll just like buzz in my face and it won't be loud because I have everything. Timer. 15 minutos. Okay. I'll put it over here so it's not so loud just in case. Just in case. Okay. I see that. Okay, so we're gonna let me go up here actually for a second for the next 15 minutes, I guess. Let's answer questions. Let's answer some questions. Let me scroll back up and see if I've missed anything and if anyone has questions about the case that they're confused on that we can maybe touch on. Because again, I know a lot of people still have a lot of questions and we try to always pull everything up here. Just want to make sure that I'm seeing everyone. Hello. Thank you for coming in here. Thank you for showing up. You know, I need to do a banner. Hold on. Let's see. Let's do it like this. Okay. We'll do it like that. Thank you for being here for 2 months, Sydney. Hey there, guys. And don't do super chats for questions. I know that some people do that. I guess they think that that's the only way. I don't do that. Just if I see it, I'll answer it. But I know some people do that. I just don't feel like you should have to pay to ask a question. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy to me. Yes, thank you. No, not really. It's just one. We're going to go over basically it's just saying what's going to be left sealed and what's going to be unsealed. And honestly, he doesn't really have a lot. Well, let's see how many there is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 documents are being like left completely sealed. And the one for the 911 call, it's because there's like grand jury testimony inside of whatever the exhibit is. So it's like an attachment, something that was just attached to the whole argument for the 911 call. But the grand jury stuff, man, I really would like to know what it's going to take to get the grand jury information out here. Because there's a lot of questions in the grand jury thing. And I know that as much as Steve Goncalves has come out here and made a mess of a lot of things, it was really the grand jury and hearing what was said at the grand jury that really started having him ask questions down like all these other different roads. On top of also the fact that we were told that the grand jury asked them for more information because they felt like it was really, really lacking. And they were told there wasn't any more. And now we see just exactly what they meant. We see exactly what they meant by this was lacking. And do we have any other information? Because this isn't good enough. Nothing that they've produced says anything. It proves it was such a minuscule amount of DNA. It also tells us they've been telling us a false story about where it was actually swabbed from because there's no facts to the verbiage that they actually used in the courtroom. There's nothing that they have said that has kept. There's not, I can't sit here and honestly think of anything. Christina, oh my gosh, it's been a while since I've seen you. Thank you. And Happy New Year to you too. She's an OG. She's been here for a long time. Super long. Some people still think that that's Dylan, which is crazy to me. No, it's a free Canva girl. Free Canva girl. But I just cannot. Dark hoodies for Christmas. Hey, hoodies are great all year round, honestly. Especially with how I keep my air conditioner on. I can wear them in summertime in Texas as long as I don't leave my house. But I honestly can't think of a single person's story or narrative that didn't change. And that's a problem for me. And I know that it's like a huge cluster F, right? Because there's 4 different victims that were living 4 completely separate lives, that were going 4 completely different ways, that were only connected because it was a convenient place to rent. And they weren't living in their sororities. Which, crazily enough, is like the weird similarity with Ethan, because he wasn't living in his frat. He was working on it. He was apparently going to be going back in. It sounded like, from the way that the frat guy mentioned it at the memorial speech or whatever, that it was going to be happening probably after break. That he was going to be able to move back in there. So it's just interesting that literally everyone in that house were like ex-Greek of some sort. It's just wild. Nobody's story stayed the same. Yes, it was cat chaos. I couldn't even get mad at some point because I'm like, for one, this is exhausting. And for 2, it only gets used 3 days out of the year. Whatever. So we're just going to figure out something else. No, it was the tree. The tree has to go. It's on the ground right now, so we can just let them play with it. It's like, let them just get as much time with it as they possibly can. I unplugged it. Plus, you guys saw the picture. It was pretty much going to have to go anyway because I couldn't fix the lights. The top, it's like one of those 3-section pre-lit trees, and the top of it already wasn't lighting. So it was already going to have to be replaced. So it's fine. It's fine. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I saw that. I pinned it. Like, every time I see it, I pinned it. I'm definitely going to do it. I'm going to try to do it from, like, the ceiling corner, though, like, all the way down, so that I can have, like, my ornaments and stuff everywhere and, like, place the stockings a certain way that I see it. I don't know if the cats are going to allow it. We'll see. Tasmania. Oh, my God. That's so crazy whenever people from other countries and places that are so far away are, like, listening in on all of this stuff. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Hunter lives in Boise with Emily. He's just very observant. He's very observant. Yeah, VR games are fun. They kind of make me nauseous a little bit. I like the fishing ones, though, but only the ones that actually let you reel in. There was one that I was playing before, and it was just like you put it in there, and then you just like hold the button in, and I'm like, fail. I don't like this. I want to feel the tension, and I want to be able to like reel it in. But the VR games are I really like VR for underwater scenes because I'm really into like ocean and water stuff. I remember they had some that were I swear, like 10K. Okay, 10K HD Ultra. Like, it was so vibrant. It felt like you could really just like reach out and touch the damn fish. It's like you were just sitting crisscross applesauce on the ocean floor, just watching all these things like swim around you. It was like really cool. I like that kind of stuff. I don't think there was ever a shot. I think that someone saw a light flicker in the window or tried to connect things that don't work because we are seeing on the cameras that no one is dragged from that house anywhere else. So we also, a cop walked in there literally like the next day, and we watched it on body cam. There was no, in my opinion, people see whatever they want to see in them, though, I guess. No, they did actually test the stuff that was seen at the Whites, and it found that it wasn't blood, that it was like some sort of drippy rust. But I don't know if those documents are in these, or if we're going to have to FOIA those from Moscow. But that's what was interesting about what's on the back of the house that they're still trying to say is blood. But I'll tell you this, unless they worded it differently, I didn't find anything in the Idaho State Police forensic documents about them testing that. So when Gunderson no, it wasn't Gunderson. Was it Gilbertson? Gilbertson. When Gilbertson says in that interview piece something about it being Ethan's blood in that article, I'm not seeing anything in ISP's document saying that they swabbed it or that it was sent to them. Again, they could have worded it in a way that I'm just not seeing yet. And I still haven't gone through every single one of those documents because we've had so much going on. I need to take some time, at least like an hour a day, and like sit there and really just like go through sections of it until it's done, because that's where all the really important shit is. And something was mentioned to me the other day that I actually didn't know, and this person would know. So it tells me that I'm missing a lot of really important stuff that we really need to focus on, and that there's a lot more unknown DNA, like just on the bodies themselves, not just the knife sheath, but like on the bodies. The fact that they allowed so much unknown DNA on the bodies, that's a freaking problem. There's so many of those samples that they could have like cross-tested and matched to see if they at least like maybe matched each other to see if there was a sequence or a pattern. And instead they just focused on something that they're lying to us about. Something, again, this after Christmas break is going to be so freaking busy. I still have to send in how I'm going to ask ISP to explain to me the resubmission for the knife sheath Q-tip swab. They don't have a choice now but to answer that question. Why Ann Taylor never brought this up in court, I don't really quite understand either, because this is the only thing that puts Bryan Kohberger at the scene. The only thing. I think I said this for 14 hours. It's been how many minutes? It started at 15 and now it's at, okay, it's been 11 minutes, I think. I just realized like how ridiculously long that looked like it was going to take. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I'll set this for 5 minutes because it was like 11-ish minutes. Okay. I don't know how to set a timer, apparently. But when it comes to this, I don't know if they actually tested anything because I haven't found anything that shows that they did. I know that in the body cam they mention it. I know that it's been mentioned and it's been assumed like for a long time. But the reason why I still have questions about it, on top of not being able to actually see the document itself, it could be there. Okay, I'm telling you now, it could be there. But also all of the drippy rust at the whites. And it really took, it really showed the importance of that at Jack Showalter's apartment. Because remember, there was something on his door that they tested thinking that it was blood, and it wasn't. And if it wasn't for some maintenance guy calling in whatever he saw in Jack Showalter's bathroom, they would have never gone into Jack Showalter's apartment to see the blood in his bathroom. See, there's blood at Jack Showalter's house, and then there's blood at Jack Decor's house. But I don't remember which apartment. See, those are all things that we still need to go back in and get the details for so that we can at least wade through them. But I need to FOIA like specifics. I need to FOIA specifically the information for the blood behind the house so that I can see if they actually swabbed it as like at least like a preliminary positive. I really just don't know. I haven't seen anything. I have not seen anything at all. Oh, you did? I know they're comfortable. And I know that like I use print on demand, the same people that I'm using now, like for a few years before I did true crime for like Dogecoin shirts. I would do like the Doge Dog. And I was also making shirts for like cannabis stocks, like Tilray and other stocks like that. And because there was like a big trend of cannabis stocks and Dogecoin like being together, I made some of those too. And there was just some other designs, but I've like washed them several times in the past few years, and like they all stay. I've never had any issues. I don't know what the idiot said because I don't care. That person doesn't know anything about me. They literally come out with like 3 different names. And the only thing that I've been getting from people is like proof that they go into their own channel and troll their own selves in order to like get attention, which is actually like really disgustingly weird and is proven to be like a tactic that true crime people use, because something like that came out in all the stuff that just came out with Hidden True Crime and Annie Elise. That there was somebody that was working for had worked for both of them at some point in time, that had like was the leader of like hate groups for them on Reddit, so they can like get ahead of the rumors and the bullshit. Like they controlled opposition, like weird shit. Like, I'm sorry, I don't play stupid games like that. I'm grown as F. I am grown as F. I don't know even what that idiot said. I don't care. Yeah, that's what I did it as soon as I saw that on Twitter a couple days ago. I was like, oh, I'm checking. Let's see. But that doesn't mean that it might not eventually happen, but I kind of feel like they knew that, because I'm telling you, a lot of these are like photocopy. Especially the ones that have a lot of redactions, it's photocopy. Which sucks. Because it would have been nice to be able to get a little bit of information. Yeah, I never heard it or saw that. So I don't know. They actually have a big present still coming in, because I ordered it a little bit too late. Actually, that's a good idea to let me check where it's at. So I know some of you have seen the little red and black, like gothic style little bed thing I gotten for Zelda. I got them a big one. I think it's supposed to be here tomorrow. Yeah, Sunday. See if I can snatch the picture up so I can show you. Because I'm like a bigger one. It says it's like 5.5 feet tall. And it can be like multiple ways. Plus there's these like hanging things that I'm going to put around like the house for them. They got a bunch of toys and stuff too. They for sure get a lot of junk. Plus the dogs get lots of stuff. The dogs like their chewy stuff. Oh, here's all the shirt comments. Dang, I'm like really behind in the comments. Oh, there it is. There it be. Now we're going to do a $50 giveaway. Okay. So let me close this and let me go back to giveaway. Keyword is money. Keyword is money. Start typing in the word money. And we're going to give away $50 4 times. We're going to do it 4 times. We'll let it run for about a minute and a half. I can scroll up over here while Nightbot's doing that over here. I'll keep going. There's like 87 entries. 90. 95. About 30 more seconds and I'm going to run it. 104. 115. Almost. As soon as it changes to 49 right here, I'm going to... Okay, there it goes. Ready? 1, 2, let's go. Christina Sams. Christina Sams, you won $50. You won $50. Where'd it go? Okay, where'd you go, Nightbot? Where'd it go? Oh my gosh, where did it go? I'm trying to find it. Oh my god. Where'd Nightbot's face go? Can I really just not see it? I can't see it. Did it pop up? Okay, there it is. Okay, so it's showing that like you know that I've called your name out, but where's the Nightbot thingy? Okay, well you won. You won $50. You won $50. All right, let me go ahead and get the back end information real quick so that I can get your stuff. I don't want to hear myself talking. There you are right there. Okay, and here's my email, because you guys are going to have to email me. Okay. Okay. So I'll set this again, not for 15 hours, but for 15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes now. Okay, so Christina Sales. Okay. I don't have any restrictions. I don't have any restrictions on the chat. That's weird. YouTube might be doing their own thing at this point. I'm not sure. Congratulations, Christina. Christina won the $50. We're going to do another giveaway for merch in 15 more minutes. Let's go ahead and look at the document. Let me see if I can see any questions real quick. I'm going to jump down to the bottom of the chat. If you have questions, put them in again. Down here, away from all of the money comments so that I can see it. And I'll take a look right here while I get the document back up so that we can start reading the ones that they are going to be keeping to themselves. That's crazy. Oh, I'm good. Thank you. How are you doing? I can't see community tab stuff, but yeah, no, it is. We know. We've gone through the documents. I actually recorded a video all about going and watching Jay Embry's video that you guys wanted me to go watch about Kaylee's blood being on a table in the living room. A table, because there is a table in the living room. And all of the documents, no, not the documents, all of the 11/12 footage came out, and it still has not been edited. It's still sitting there completely unedited. I've mentioned it a few times. I've mentioned it a few times in lives, but I haven't got the chance to actually sit down and edit it. I need to do that. I probably should do that. Okay, let me go ahead and do this. Actually, what date was that? Let me look at my folder. Oh my God, this is like okay, right here. Can I have the date? December 3rd, 2025. And we got the 11/12 King Road footage on the 4th. So I recorded it and finalized my full recording at 2:40 p.m. on December 3rd, 2025. And the next day we got the footage, and I never I never got back to editing the damn thing. I never got back to editing. I don't know why it's doing that to you guys, though. Actually, I have a lot of questions about a lot of people. All I know is that right now there's a lot of information missing. But the university didn't act the way the university acted because of an off-campus situation. They didn't lock down the fraternity. The Chapins didn't go spend the night at the fraternity and lock everything down and make everybody give up their cell phones for the night. They didn't try to erase Ethan out of everything to do with this case. No, there's something happening where the university stepped in to cover something up. What? I don't know. And until we get clarity from, and I've mentioned this before, I mentioned it right after the plea hearing. For 3 years, we were hearing the fight at Sigma Chi was the reason why Xana told her dad that she was home with Ethan eating pizza or whatever it was around midnight. Regardless of the details of that, he sticks to, he was on the phone with Xana around midnight. She was home hanging out with her boyfriend. Okay. During the sentencing, when he's speaking directly to Kohberger, he says because Xana wasn't feeling well. For 3 years now, we've been believing from interviews that Jeff and Jasmine have done in the very, very early time of this, that they both spoke to her that night, that they both spoke to her Saturday night. But in the Moscow Police Department report, it says they both said it like it was Friday night that they both last spoke to her. And as soon as we read that report, it was instant like red flag to everyone in the live, because that's not what we were told. So I still want to try to see if they'll give me Jeff and Jasmine's interview. I don't plan on posting it. See, when it comes to direct family members, I honestly don't even feel comfortable with like Hunter and Maisie's interviews, because they're Ethan's brother and sister. I don't think that I would like feel morally okay. Like if they do come out, I'll give my opinion on it, but I don't think I'll show those here on my channel. And it's like I want Jeff and Jasmine's interview, but I would never show it. Now, it would definitely, the catch-22 with that is that it would open it up. Like if I were to go in and ask for it and they would do the redactions and give it to me, it would open it up to where everyone else and their mama could go in and pay $30 and pay the duplication fee and get the file. I understand that. I personally would pay the money, not even honestly like tell you guys about it, because it's not anything that I would show out here on the public. It'd be something that I just took care of myself when I felt like taking care of it. And I would show you proof that I got it, but I would not let you hear it, because I don't want to display a parent's actual grief in hearing the details and in the very first shock of hearing what happened to their kid out there like that. And it's also the same thing I've said about the damn Goncalveses. So it's both ways. I would love the dispatch and the body cam for when they went out there and spoke to them, but I don't think I would ever play it. I want to know the details. I want to know what they said to the police. I want to know what they claimed they already knew. And I would like clarity on the time frame and who all was at their house. But when it comes to seeing a parent on camera, like being told stuff, regardless of how I feel about them, I honestly just I don't think I would be okay sharing that. Everyone else can do whatever the hell they want to do. I would just give my opinion on it. I don't think I could actually be the reason for that being shared out there. Body cam footage of a street, yeah, that's different. Interview of somebody who's lived in that house and didn't call 911 for 8 hours and has, been dishonest about everything and keeps making an excuse and everything makes no sense. Yeah, all day long and every day, twice on Sundays. But the parents, I don't really think I could. I just want clarification, because there's no reason for those things to not be lined up. Like there's no reason for it not to be lined up. If there are, yeah, I don't think that happened. We would have heard people saying that they heard that night. Now, I do know that was the original rumor, and that's why a lot of people are really questioning it. And I say original rumor because for those who don't know, just trying to touch on everything, Kaylee Goncalves' mother came out and said that her blood relative, her niece, I believe her name is Sabrina, they've said it 1.5 million times, called her on the phone and said that she was told that there was a pew-pew situation at a party at the house that night and that Kaylee had been killed in it. So I know when it comes to noises and what could be being covered up, a lot of people are questioning that, rightfully so, because that's something that was a rumor going around that got to the actual families. But I don't know. I just know that they're not being honest, or the FOIA chick is just really not good at her job, which she has no problem saying that she's not good at her job and admitting everything she's done wrong, to know that there are multiple files and this thing is everywhere. I don't know why it's silenced where it's silenced, but like we've proved in the video that I put up of the chain of custody for the SD card, there's at least 8, maybe up to 10 different copies of that footage that was downloaded, with it actually being originally downloaded by the MPD on Lawrence Mowry's work phone. And in downloading the clips to his work phone is where he specifically states in the report that there's audio. And I threw all of them. I threw that to all of them. I threw all of that at them. I guess I'll say. I threw all of that at them in the email. So if you haven't watched that video, a deep dived into the chain of custody for the SD card. Now, Sarah D, who I see a lot of stuff with on Twitter, you guys talk to her here a lot too. She also mentioned that there was a copy for the grand jury. I need to go in and see what it was. I'm going to go find the documents to do like a little follow-up of the chain of custody stuff, because Andrew Fox, who took all of the segments and put them all together into the hour-long segments, like the 17 different segments, that was done in June of 2023 after the grand jury. And before that, the only thing that we've seen so far is that there was a DVD created from what Lawrence Mallory took off of the app that he downloaded to his phone and then put onto a DVD. So I don't know if the DVD is what was shown at the grand jury, or if they put it on another device, if they made another copy and then submitted that copy over to the grand jury. But where we went over Ann Taylor's motion hearing, where she mentions the silence, was a whole year later in May of 2024. So I'm not really quite sure which version she's talking about at that point. It is a bother if it goes all the way to the grand jury where that long of footage is silent. But then at 2:25 to 2:30 on the other clips of footage, we have sound. But again, everything was already not in the same folder. Everything was already not in the same folder. Everything about this case, it infuriates me. Infuriates me. It really does. Not that I know of. If you go into the ISP, now it could be something that it's not catching because it's a photoshopped paper for a bunch of redactions possibly. But when I went through the ISP documents for the word knife, the only one that populates is for the knife sheath that I've seen. But again, I haven't gone through all the documents. I just know we're not seeing anywhere where he tells them that he picks it up off the floor to put it on the table, or where he's being confronted by it being on the floor. And how they don't confront him with that during like the second round of interviews, I don't understand, because at that point, did they not like review body cam? So that's another question that I have for the process with MPD, because we've seen like with Nunes and Warner's, there's some information I think in Nunes about Hunter that's not accurate. And we didn't know that until we were comparing the report to the freaking body cams trying to figure out the knife thing with Hunter in the first place. I can't remember exactly the statement, so I don't want to say it incorrectly. But there's a portion in Nunes, again, when it comes to Hunter and something with the knife sheath and maybe I think getting Hunter out of the house. That's incorrect. It's being done as if Nunes is the one doing it, when really what we're seeing is Warner being the one do these things. And again, these reports were like double checked and reviewed. There's a person's name, like it says the officer's name, and then it says who reviewed it. So the person that reviews it, they don't go back and like watch the body cam to verify that the information in the report is accurate. And it's just like the judges that sign the PCAs, they don't ask for the attachments, like in all of the things that are like in the PCA. They don't sit there and be like, okay, let me review all of this and make sure that it's accurate before signing off on this extremely insane next step. How is that the process? How is that the process? Oh no, well, I hope you start feeling better. I'm sorry. Hope you feel better. I don't know. I just don't know why their story is different. I mean, even them getting to the freaking party, bro. The whole time, even like in the Amazon series, which is another thing, I really wonder if we can just watch it not monetized. Like if I do a live stream and it's completely off monetization completely, can we watch the Amazon Prime episodes without getting a copyright strike? Or any sort of strike? Am I going to have to like screen record the entire episodes, flip them and put a filter on them, and then we go live? I really want to find out a way to do that without it affecting my channel. I'm going to just like email YouTube support and ask them. Yeah, the lack of blood evidence is the biggest issue for me. And I understand that it was like some weeks after the crime that they finally arrested him or whatever. But even in the house itself, and when we're hearing the way that Dylan is describing like the face mask on the person, there's no protective gear. There's no protective gear to stop them from getting scratched, their eyes getting scratched or punched in the face. There was nothing described. And there is nothing really described that would substitute no bruises and no scratches or nothing like that, and nothing on the victims. You're sitting here telling me that they didn't get a single drop of sweat or anything on them from Kohberger, and he's the guy? Oh, no, it just doesn't work. None of it works. And now, even now, with the WSU footage, that I'm getting together. Actually, let me see if I can. We'll do the giveaway real quick. Okay, it's time for the next giveaway. And then we'll get to the WSU footage stuff. But let me pull up the website real quick because Heather Fitzgerald sent me this. And I've gone in and actually downloaded all of it. And I'm putting it together in like little videos that I can upload so you guys can see the whole thing. But I've also put them on the Google Drive. At least part 1. Part two is a bigger because it's 3 views of traffic cameras that's like 3 hours long. It's like 4 to 7 a.m. And I don't really know, like, I haven't watched it. I haven't watched them. I'm going to download them and do the way that I always do with these. There's no audio because they're like traffic cams. So they've got like the grids and stuff on them. There's no audio, and they're like, I mean, they're not bad quality, I guess. They're really not bad quality, but they're long. Holy shit, they're long. So I guess tomorrow I have time tonight to finish that. Tomorrow morning I'll release the WSU footage. Let me, I'm talking too much. Let me go ahead and do this. Okay. Let's do the hat. Let's do a hat. Let me put the word in. Type in the word hat. Hat. Type in the word hat. And I'll put this up here again to show you guys. Hold on. Yeah, type in hat. Type in hat. And it'll be, these are just like the ones that I have like up here that I like are just whatever. But you can choose from the pom-pom hat. And I am going to make a black one. I just haven't had the chance yet. And I don't like to have like variants inside the same postings. I like to have them separate. That's why they're like this. But I want to make a black pom-pom one here eventually. So if you do win the hat and you want a pom-pom one and you want it black, you can let me know and I can do that. Also, just so you guys know, some of these are only put out here because you guys asked me to make these certain things, like the kids shirts, the long sleeve shirts, the different hats, different kind of the white coffee cup. You guys can like say, hey, can we maybe have this sort of whatever out there? I like creating different designs. Something that I used to do with my coffee cups was get people's information for what they wanted. I'd make like crypto cups. One person was like a pharmacist, and it was like pharmacist by day, crypto whiz by night or something like that. And it was just like a periodic table that sort of like transformed into crypto. It was just like imaginative stuff like that. So I can do personalized stuff too. I actually like doing that. It's kind of relaxing. All right. We have 103 entries. I'm about to hit it. You ready? 15 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, Girl Scout. Hey, Girl Scout. Did Nightbot show up in the chat? There it is. Freaking finally. Okay. Hey, Girl Scout, you won Let me go get your info on the other side. And remember, you can choose whichever one of the different kind of hats that you want. They got the black ones with no words, just the monkeys, the words, the grayscale. I tried to make different variants for everyone. Okay, let me see. There you go, right there. Go to. Okay. Alrighty, I got your info, Meg. Back at Hey Girl Scouts. Hats. Okie dokie. Don't forget you can choose whichever one of them up there. And if you want a different color for the little beanie thingy or whatever, the pom-pom one, I can do that too. I can do that too. We need socks. Oh, ooh, you know what? Some DNA socks. That might be cool. That might be cool. We might do that. I haven't done any like all-around print. Some all-around print stuff might be cool. Okay, let me show you guys this website. So Heather Fitzgerald sent me this. This is the actual WSU like information coming from the city. I'll go ahead and post this in here for those that want to go ahead and do that thing. This one right here is 2 Word documents and 4 different file folders. They're all zip folders. And actually, I think I can, I'll pull it up the way that I have it on the home drive. Let's see. Okay. So the way they have them here is it's separated in time. Gray Hughes actually had these and was reviewing them on his channel when he realized that it's not Bryan's car. And he tried to be like, oh, it's not his car. So what? No, hooker, not so what. What you mean, so what? That's these files. So I can go ahead and share this folder with you guys now. And I can post the one that I put together in the morning. It literally is just, it says like the street and the time, and then it says northbound, eastbound, southbound, westbound with like the little clips. And that's all that it is, just to like give it a little bit of separation category or categorical separation, I guess. But that's all that I did to him. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll post that in the morning. But if you guys want to go ahead and access that stuff now, you can feel free to do so. But this one right here, this part 2 is the one where it's a lot of long shit. 3 hours each, I think. Let me pull it from my side right here. So I haven't put these yet up on the Google Drive because I haven't downloaded them out of the file. They're still in the zip folder. It is Stadium in Nevada North from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. traffic cams. And there's one of them that is Stadium in Nevada North from midnight to 4 a.m. So I really want to look at the map. One of my goals with this from the midnight to 4 a.m. is to try to see if Molly passes these cameras. It'd be really interesting to see Molly, because that's a main road. I don't know if this is a road you have to take to get back and forth between the areas and Jack in the Box or not. I haven't looked at the map in a little bit on that spot. I know we went really intricately through the PCA versus the Jack in the Box to prove that Kohberger was not the DoorDasher way back 3 years ago. I think I did like a 3-part series, on that information, going in through like all of the timestamps that they had to prove that, you know, back then that he wasn't the DoorDasher, because that was a lot of people's theories at first. But this is a lot. It's a lot of footage. The files are really, really big, and they've been compressed down. Because it says like for 4 to 7 a.m. from Stadium in Nevada West, the original size is like 1.2 million kilobytes. And when it's compressed, it's still 1 million kilobytes. Like, it's big. They're big files. So I'm going to be getting those up, getting them out, putting them on the Google Drive for you guys too, and then posting them in full form on the screen I've been talking for a few minutes, so we'll do 12 minutes. The next giveaway will be in 12 minutes because I've again been talking for a few minutes now, and the next one will be again for $50. And I don't have Venmo, guys, so it'll need to be like Cash App or PayPal. One of those. And if neither one of those are accessible to you, I have no problem buying a gift card and giving you a gift card number. Because I used to do that before too. Like I would do gift cards. So if there's, if you don't want PayPal, I guess I can actually kind of just make that an option for everyone, really. If you don't want PayPal or Cash App, you want like a $50 DoorDash card, I can do that too. And just send you the card number information. I'm flexible, okay? We can figure it out. I want you guys to be happy. So either way. So here in 11 minutes, we're going to do another $50, however you want it, giveaway. We'll do that. Okay, so let's go to, let me get out of this way. Okay, let's go to this. So we can start looking at these. And get this off of here. Okay. You love socks? Yeah, I'll do some like all over print socks. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, I want this to be bigger because I want you guys to be able to see it. Can I do a comparison? Let me see if it'll let me do a split screen right here. Because if I can do a split screen with this open, this will be better. Let's see. Oh, it'll let me. Okay, let me get this situated first. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted. Why do you do that? Why? Hold on. I want to get the order that has the actual like documents that are being unsealed and the ones that are being kept sealed, but I want to bring up the order itself. Okay, here this is right here. Okay, what does this look like? Oh, it's not doing it. It doesn't share both sides. Well, why do you let me split screen then if you're not going to share both sides of the damn screen? That's dumb. That's stupid. Okay, well, can you guys at least see this portion? Because I'm going to keep my split screen up as long as you guys can see this. It looks like you can. Because it's still letting me like view the list from the actual order. So it's still working. It's still working a little bit. That really sucks that it doesn't let you actually see the way that I have the screen split. It's like ignoring the fact I even have this other part here. You want kitchen gloves? Like mitts? Maybe. That's crazy. You want pom-pom hats? That's hilarious. Oh no. I love a good tea. You know, it took me a long time to like be okay with people putting like milk in their tea the way they do like so normally overseas, because like that's weird it was always so weird to me. I finally did it in like this lavender sleep tea that I bought, and it was actually really good. It was actually really, really good. I totally get why people put cream in their tea. I really do. Is Brian's actual car? I don't know. That's the part that I don't know. Because he's not saying that he didn't leave his apartment, right? And not only do we have the discrepancy with the phone pings, them saying that they can't directly even connect. That was the most ridiculous thing. Was Bill Thompson standing up as he was getting handed down 4 life sentences and saying, we cannot directly connect Bryan Kohberger to 1122 King Road or its residents. That is a wild statement to make on live TV to the world about a man that just pled guilty to something that you have no real proof of. How that is how this happened and the judge allowed the circus? He had to be paid. How do you make that kind of decision you don't have to. He could have said, hell to the nah. We are going to trial. Are you out of your mind? We did not spend all of this money and go through all of this shit and change the venue and have all of this stuff happen just for us to not take it all the way. It's not happening. He could have had some balls. He could have had some balls and said, no, we're not doing this. Sit down, Santa baby, because you're about to actually have to do some work. So when it comes to that question, I don't know. I'm actually kind of hoping we see it. My thing is that if this is the footage, that's the original footage, then this is where Ann Taylor got her don't think 7 minutes doesn't matter thing. Because there's something wrong with the phone pings and the location of the car, and there's like a 7-minute difference that they're trying to say the car was here when it really wasn't. And 7 minutes is such a long time. I can't remember all the specifics right now in my head. This is like a vague together. But 7 minutes is such a long time, because if he left his apartment to go the opposite direction on highway, 7 minutes on highway speed is so dramatically far between each other at the ending of that 7 minutes. That is so many miles. And it would take 7 minutes to get from Moscow to get from Pullman into like actually like the Moscow area once you actually get on the highway and go past the cannabis shop and all that other stuff. It's about 7-ish minutes on that strip of road. 7 minutes matters. So that's another thing with this footage, is this is where that should be coming from. So is there going to be multiple cars? That's what I'm expecting to see. Like, I don't really want to sit here and go through and do a live for 3 hours of the footage, because like that's a lot to just watch cars drive by. If I can figure out a way to correctly put them all together where they stay in sync, because there's 4 sections of the 3-hour footage, maybe we'll do a live review and see how many similar cars we see. But the fact that there are, from the cops' own faces, over 20-something thousand similar vehicles like this, I'm expecting to see quite a few if we do that. I'm expecting to see quite a few. I just know that in some of this footage, like, it messes up too. Like, there's a portion, I can't remember exactly which time frame it was. I think it's in the 528 to 529 time frame for Stadium, and it matters because it skips. Where's my folder? Like, you know how Linda Lane will skip seconds, and then at some portions, like, it skips multiple seconds, and it's all discombobulated. Well, one of these, I think it is Stadium and Wilson. Is it? No. Stadium in Nevada, the 528 segment, I'm pretty sure is it. It skips over like the 33rd second. It goes from 32 to 34. So that's just one instance that I noticed. So I don't know how many other times there's like skipped time in these cameras and why they do that. And as messed up as 1112 is, it's like the only one that doesn't technically skip time. It just does that weird shit where in the very like first 4 seconds, in between the first 4 seconds are like hella sped up in between the 5-minute segments. And then in between the 4th and the 5th second, it like evens out. It's a very, 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 very strange conundrum. Yeah. Well, I mean, no, they do. Restaurants will remake food. It was paid for. Them throwing it away is like where I'm like, why would you throw it away? Because with DoorDash, like they would get like a notification that like the dasher was like unassigned from the account. Like I've had plenty of orders late night like that. It only happens in late night orders where it'll be assigned to somebody. They'll go to pick it up and they don't like how long it's taking. And so they'll unassign themselves and it'll assign it to someone else and then they'll show up. The restaurants get told that. I've had like 2 2 different times where a restaurant called me and said, hey, I just want you to know something happened with your dasher and it's been reassigned. They can see all of that comes in on their screens. So them throwing it away is where I'm like, why would they toss it away? Because it was 2 orders. You have to remember that. She said she was double dashing all night long. And she was only going to Jack in the Box. So they threw away 2 people's orders because she wasn't showing back up. But that still makes you question, like, how long were you taking? How long were you taking where they were fed up with it sitting there and knew that they might as well just toss it in the trash? Because if you do show up, it's going to be so old and so cold by the time it actually gets where it's going. There's going to be nothing but complaints. We might as well just toss it and see what happens. I mean, it seems like that's where it went. And she seems like she takes forever to do anything. Her story doesn't add up to me simply for her. I believe that they threw the damn food away. I honestly do believe that. But that's why I really want to know who was her friend. Who was her friend? Who was her friend? Sitting in the Jack in the Box parking lot all night. So worried about her, but not driving around with her to make sure she was safe. You know what I mean? I don't believe none of that boo-boo. It is good. I do half and half. The one that I really like is a lavender chamomile mixture. And I put local honey. I only ever use local honey because if you didn't know, getting local honey from a hive in your local area will help you with seasonal allergies because the pollen that makes the honey is from all of your plants that are around you. So when they bloom in the springtime and you get like ragweed or you get any sort of like seasonal allergies, always ingesting local honey will help with that because it builds up your immune system. We used to have a cedar tree in the backyard when I was growing up. I think it was my dad that had really bad, would get like super bad cedar fever. Like my parents had like oppositional seasonal allergies. So when my dad's ass would be getting kicked by whatever was in the air, my mom was fine. And then whenever she was like feeling like crap because of the allergies, dad was fine. But what we used to do is an old like Native American thing with what we were told right before the cedar berries on the tree were ripe enough to pop. You take like 6 to 10 and you sort of just like take them like pills. You don't chew them because that's nasty. You swallow them like pills. And then because of how like their chemical is right before it gets to that so ripe, they're about to burst portion of their lifespan, it builds up your immunity to where you don't have like your cedar fever boo-boo once everything starts popping up in the air, and it helps your system. So that's just something in case you guys don't know. Don't go and buy just some organic or some cheap honey off the shelf if you want the benefit of honey. Get your local honey. And honestly, you don't even have to go to a farmer's market. You can go to a gas station. A lot of the local canning people that like pickle stuff or canned goods, pickled okra, stuff like that, green beans, garlic, people that do that kind of stuff, honey, they'll partner with a lot of your gas stations to sell their products inside the gas stations. So you honestly don't even really need to go hunt it down. You can just go to a gas station and just check the label. Make sure it's a place within, like, I would say no more than 100 miles of you. I would say really no more than like 50. But that's something that I've always done. I've always made sure we had local honey. Fix my desk. Okay. Oh, it's time for the next giveaway. Oh my God, I know. Oh my God. I love it. I really want to grow my own lavender and my own chamomile so I can make my own tea. There's so many things that I want to do that I really just don't have the time for. I have lots of dreams. I have lots of dreams. Yes! How can you sit there and say that and then we're still where we are? And you know what makes me so mad? And this is like me and my buddy have been talking about this constantly. And I've said it before. How many things are in the freaking PCA that we have been able to go in just based off of the things that they have submitted and given to the public themselves that proves that this thing should have been thrown out? How come Ann Taylor never fought any of the actual facts in the PCA themselves that as she was getting discovery, she could disprove as being false. You'd think that she would have been fighting that stuff. I don't really understand why she wasn't. And it bothers me because that's your job. Like, regardless, that's your job. Regardless of how you feel about the case, that's your job in the very basic of terms, is to fight the evidence. And you didn't fight any facts. You agreed with everything that they wanted to do. And I don't really quite understand that. Okay. We're going to do money now. Y'all are already using the word money, so we're just going to go ahead and use the word money. This is for another $50. No capital. Make it nice and easy. Okay, entries are going in. I'm going to let it run for uno minuto. And if you guys are emailing me, I won't be able to check those until after we are finished. So as soon as we get done, I'll run over there and see who's all messaged me already. Pause that. Okay. Okay, as soon as this rolls over to 33, I'm going to hit this thing. And it can be PayPal or it can be Cash App, or we can figure out a gift card or whatever you want to do. I have no issue buying a gift card and sending you the code or even like a picture of the back of the card so you can put it on your app or whatever you've got to do. All right, 138 entries. It's about to hit. It's about to move. As soon as it hits 33 on my pooter, I'm going to turn it. And try to catch the Nightbot thingy before it goes all the way up the chat. Yeah, if there's anything telling you that like you're putting in too many, it doesn't do multiple. I'll tell you that now. It won't do multiple entries. I have it set to where it's a unique thing and it's only like it only takes you one time. But I don't have any restrictions on the chat, so it shouldn't be telling you anything. Okay, here we go. Anna P music. Anna P music. Congratulations. Let me go get the back end stuffs. Yeah, this, like, I knew I wanted to do like some sort of giveaway thing for my special, but my son was like, no, you've got to do all the things. You've got to do merch. You've got to do money. You've got to make it a big deal. He was telling me all the things. I was like, okay, we gonna do all the things then, because you want me to do all the things. We're gonna do all the things. We're gonna do all the things. There you go, right there. Yes, congratulations. Congratulations. You've been here for a while. You've been following this case for a long time. So this is for the $50. Congratulations, Anna. Congratulations. Okay, let me set my thing. And we're going to do another merch giveaway in 15 minutes. And here's my email address for those who need to contact me for the winning stuffs. Okie dokie. Alrighty. All right, now here is the next 15 minutes. The next giveaway in 15 minutes, don't start putting it in the chat just yet, but the next one in 15 minutes is going to be for a coffee cup. Right now there's just two. I don't know how to make a hot pink one on here. I don't think my provider would let me make one that would not look like shit. And I say that because I don't like the white one. You see how the white one has like a lip that still shows like that much of the white? I know a lot of people don't really care. To me and my OCD, I don't like that. So if it would go all the way up to the actual like tip, it would work for me, and I would probably go ahead and do like a hot pink cup or like different color cups. But because my personal OCD is not like allowing me to really like do that. See how it does right here? See, there's like there's too much space in between the top of the cup and where the color stops. So that's just me. That's just me. So that's the next giveaway. We'll do that in 13 minutes and 49 seconds. That'll be for a coffee cup. So we'll just do the word coffee for that one. Just not yet. Wait till I tell you, and then you're gonna go ahead and put the word in the chat. And again, it doesn't do multiples. So if you're putting the word more than once, it's only going to take it once. It's only going to take the first one that you do. And it's always going to be a unique winner. It should not ever pick someone twice in the same 24-hour period. At least that's how I'm understanding it. Okay. So let's see what people are talking about right here when it comes to what's being held back and what we're keeping. Okay. Let's see. So unsealing all of these things here. There's a lot of them. And we don't really need to go over the ones that are being unsealed until they come out. Other than, to me, it's sort of like a waste to go and spend all this time going through all these titles and what it is. When we just know they're going to be out there, we're going to keep an eye out for them. Going over the innards of them is what's really super important. Now, when it comes to these documents, it says, the court received objection by one or both parties to their unsealing. However, after considering the objections, the court finds no further justification. So, I will say, it's interesting that these were being objected to. So let's just at least look at the titles. 95 was State's Exhibit S23B from Wathall. So expert testimony. I have got like the weirdest weird things coming from this Celsius. Okay. Then we have 99, which was State's Exhibit S18B Martinez, Part 1. And 100 was Part 2 from Martinez. These are all expert witnesses. Can I like separate this now so I can just like pop the whole thing up? Is there like a way? Open web page in new tab. Yes, please. See it right here? It's all like they're experts. So given that these are police, Mowry, Douglas, Ayers, people that worked with the cops, people that worked with the forensic lab, why would the state be objecting these? I mean, maybe it's the defense. I don't know. I doubt it. That's weird. But why would the state be objecting their own like witnesses? So 100 and then 102. So 100 is Part 2 of Martinez. 102 is rebuttal from Heel. And then we have 103. State's Exhibit, rebuttal from Gilbertson. Then we have 105. State's Exhibit S24 from Wilt. Yeah, these are like all experts. 109. Mowry? I want to know which side was going to object to something coming out from Mowry. Okay, 114 and 115. Exhibit S1 is state's response to defendant's 7th motion to compel, and state's response to defendant's motion in limine regarding statistical analysis. Now remember, the statistical analysis is where we found out about the likelihood ratios for the DNA under fingernails and in fingernail clippings and whatnot. 1719. State's response to defendant's motion in limine number 5. Defendant's objection to state's motion in limine regarding the 911 call. But why? Okay, see, this one's actually like weird to me. They ended up using the defendant's 911 transcript, and considering that it was the defense's transcript for the 911 call. Why would they even have any objections to the 911 call stuff? Nothing in the 911 call is said that points to Kohberger. There's nothing. If anything, it makes Dylan look worse because she instantly starts saying to the dispatcher, you know, basically at pretty much at 4 a.m., like, you already start the narrative. So I don't know why they're wanting to hold anything back from the 911 call, especially since we've already heard it. That's weird to me, but okay. So then we have 2021 Exhibits 1, 2, and 3 to defendant's objection to state's motion in limine regarding admissibility of demonstrative evidence. I mean, that stupid dollhouse. I can't believe that thing is like a thing. That's so crazy. Okay, so, they're going to keep... Okay, they wanted to hold back the AT&T timing advance records, but this says that it is on the list of things that Judge Hippler says should be out. So that means that in the next week or so, we should have the exhibit for this. It's an exhibit attached for the defendant's objection for the AT&T timing advance records. So it should have information. Now, that's the problem. The only problem I have with the unsealings is that they're not really giving us the attachments. So far, it's been the documents, which has been great. We've been getting a lot of new information, but it doesn't have the actual attachments. So if they're going to actually unseal the exhibits themselves, we should get the actual reports, the actual exhibits, and not just the actual filing. Fingers crossed that that's how that happens. See, I'm glad I wanted to go over these because so many people were saying he's holding back the AT&T records. He's holding back Dylan's messages. And I'm just like, okay, well, let's find out for ourselves first before we freak out. So I'm glad that we're looking because that definitely says, yeah, y'all wanted to hold it back, but we're not holding it back anymore. I'm glad we looked. Okay, so down to 33 and 34. Notice of filing, signed and notarized affidavit. Okay. And then order on the parties' agreement to not mention the 2014 cell phone incident during the trial. So this is the incident where Bryan Kohberger and apparently another person took Bryan Kohberger's sister's cell phone to a little machine like at Walmart. If you walk into Walmart, I honestly don't think I've ever seen these at the malls around here. But if you go into the Walmart, there's a machine usually in the front, sort of like by where you can like make a key and you can sell your cell phone. And at first we were told that it was just Kohberger. We got some more information about like stuff that he does from the book. But then again, you got to take the book with a million grains of salt. I really want to contact, or at least I want somebody to try to contact the people that were actually interviewed in that stupid James Patterson book, because these are people that are like the parents of Kohberger's so-say best friend from school that he used to get in trouble with, that was also really bad on substances, that ended up actually dying from substance overload. And it's the mother that like gave some stories to Patterson for the book. So I'd like to get like more clarity and see like what she said actually, because we've already seen so many things that he's put in this book be false. So false. Stuff that we can prove from watching the body cam. He put in his book that Hunter Johnson had the knife in his hand the whole time that the cops were walking around with him upstairs. And even though the cops were telling him to put it down, he refused to let go of it. That's in the James Patterson book. That's in this so-say best writer of the century, blah, 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 all these awards. No, he does all these great things on lies. On lies. On lies. Which is crazy as F, on lies. So I don't know. I don't know what all this would have even mattered. I get why they want to hold it back, but you also have to take into consideration all of the other things that they've been wanting to like hold back on too when it comes to actual evidence and things that they should be telling truth about and they're not. So I get it. He was on stuff. He was younger. It wasn't, well, he called someone to come pick him up apparently. And that person knew that they were on the way to go and get money to go and get their supply. He made that very clear, or at least let me say this. The person that they had anonymously leave a statement for the situation in the Amazon Prime series said that Bryan called him. They were out of stuff. He knew how to get money for stuff. They took the phone, blah, blah, blah. Do I believe the guy? I honestly don't have a reason not to, even though he didn't show his face, because this was already something that we knew about, that there's a police report for, that we've known that happened. So there's no one in Bryan Kohberger's family or that side saying that that's not true. So is there a possibility somebody else was involved in that? Probably. People that use substances usually use substances in more than one, and in groups. So for him to have called someone that had a vehicle when he had the device that they needed to sell and someone else had the ride, I mean, that's usually how that shit would work. So to not mention it, I mean, I get why not to mention it. But it's still just interesting that was even something that they were considering. But I guess they would sort of have to, because it's past behavior, which is also wild. So were they going to actually mention it? No, because so both sides agreed not to mention something that can make Kohberger look actually more guilty by proving that he had a disposition for breaking the law. And both sides chose not to use it. Why? Why would the state be okay with not using something that shows previous behavior problems? I don't think he was a juvenile. I was under the impression that he was an adult when that happened. So that's why it's just interesting. That's just why it's interesting. Because, the state, for sure, you'd think that they'd be like, hell yeah, we're going to use it. I don't give a shit. But then again, the defense agreed to stuff that didn't make sense either. I don't know. It's just an odd move. To me, it's an odd move. Okay, that was number 36. Okay, so 37, 38, and 39 are what? A non-redacted statistical analysis, meaning we would be able to see everyone's names. Defendant's motion in limine. Number 5, inconclusive data. So does that mean that we're about to get the non-redacted versions of that? Are we about to get the non-redacted versions that have Cole's name and other people's names actually showing? That'll be wild. Witness identification by bushy eyebrows. This should have been fought harder and made more sense the way that Ann Taylor fought it, because we already know for a fact that Dylan didn't talk about any of this. This was introduced to Dylan by Lawrence Mowry, and as it was being introduced, she denied seeing them. So that's crazy that wasn't fought better, because I feel like it could have been fought a lot better than what it was. Okay, 45 is defendant's motion in limine number 7 regarding witness identification by bushy eyebrows again. Okay, well, I'd love to know when that actually got started, because if she tries to say it came from some sort of deep hypnosis or some shit, we already have her on record in her interview saying that they tried to go deep into her brain to find receipts of things and memories, and she couldn't come up with anything besides Kaylee's footsteps. She couldn't hear anything but Kaylee's footsteps. No second footsteps. No one's chasing after her. She couldn't even re-see the person. She says this in her interviews. I think it's the 12/33/22 interview that she does after his arrest. I think that's the one where she says that. Okay. Now we're going to do the coffee cup giveaway. So let me go to this, and we're going to use the word coffee. COFFEE. Okay. We are going to let it roll for about a minute and a half. Let me scroll up and see what I've missed while this is running. Oh, welcome, Karen. Welcome, welcome. We're also going to be doing another like giveaway type live on the 29th for members only. So you guys don't forget that we do our members only live every last Monday of the month. We're going to give away some more stuff. 27 months, Ro. That's so long. Welcome, Patty Ann. Welcome, 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 Crazy. Welcome, Allison. Thank you, Jeep Girl. I appreciate that. Thank you for the gifted membership, Juliet. I appreciate that. Congratulations to those who got that one. Okay, I'm about to roll it. Give it about another like 45 seconds or so. About another 45 seconds or so. Once it flips to 52. There's 103 entries. This one's for the cup, so it'll be one of these or her. Okay, I'm about to run it. A few more seconds. A few more seconds. 5 months, that metal chick. Thanks for being here. Okay. It's almost going to flip to 52. As soon as it flips to 52, 123 entries. Yeah, let's hold that. We're going to talk about that table. Hold on. All right, ready? IR ROMs. IR ROMs is the winner. IR ROMs is the winner. IR ROMs is the winner. All right, let me go back and get your back end info. Let's see. Where's it at? Oh, I gotta go find the name in the chat. 1 second, guys. Okay, it'll be up here. Huh, it's not letting me go up more. Okay. IR, did you comment yet? Let me see if it'll let me tag you in something. Yeah. Go to, is it going to go to your channel right here, or is it going to go to my channel? It's going to my channel. Okay, let's see. I need them to comment so that I can grab their stuff. Yeah, because I'm not seeing it. Let me do this live chat so it'll let me pop up higher. Will it let me go up higher? It's making me stop. It won't let me pop up there and check it. There you are. There you are. There you go. Okay. Congratulations. You got a cup. Okay, here's my email address one more time. Okay. So go ahead and send me an email. Show me what I mean by like your back end information. Like if you have a YouTube account where you have a username and you can comment, there's like a thing that says like your full URL. It says when you joined. But if you have videos popped up, like actually uploaded to your channel, if you go to YouTube Studio and just like take a screenshot that shows like you actually have access to upload to that channel that you're messaging me from, then it just validates that I'm sending it to the right person so that the wrong person doesn't get somebody's stuff. It's just like the best way that I can validate without really trying to infringe on you guys' privacy as best as possible. It's just some sort of validation verification. Yay, yes, you love coffee and it'll be better in your cup. Well, I am so thankful that you are here. And you can pick either the black or the white one, whichever one you want. Whichever one you want. Okay, I'm going to set the next timer for 15 more minutes. And in 15 minutes, we're going to do the next $50 giveaway. So let's let that run. So we're going to do a $50 giveaway in 15 minutes. In another 15 minutes will be the winner's choice for the shirt, the hat, or the cup. And then we'll do one more $50 giveaway. And then we'll be done. So let's go ahead and see how much more we can get through these to make sure that we're seeing everything that's being unsealed. And if we get through this before the last giveaway and stuff is done, then we'll just like answer questions and stuff in the chat for a while. Okay. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much. 10 gifted memberships. Congratulations to those who end up getting those. Thank you. Welcome, Wolf Whispers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what this is saying now. Okay, where are we at? I think we're on one. Did we just look at 145? Yeah, the bushy eyebrows. That whole thing is crazy. Let's see what they have to say about that. All right, 53 is proposed redactions for the closed hearing transcript. There are some redactions, but there's really not like a lot, you know. Let me. I mean, I know that they did redactions for it. But I also don't feel like it was like a shit ton of them. Hold on. Oh, this is 175 pages. I'm not about to recheck all of these pages. But I don't remember there being like massive black boxes in this transcript right here. Like, I don't remember it being like massively. Sorry if this might make you motion sick. But I'm going to just like scroll up fast. This is 175 pages. And I mean, there might be like a couple words here and there, but I'm not seeing full pages full of redactions or ginormous black rectangles. So I don't know what all they actually kept out of here. I'd have to go back in and see, but I'd rather just wait for the document and then do a comparison. Yeah, I'm not seeing massive redactions. No. So I don't know how much different if they like give an unredacted one. I don't know how much different it would be. No clue. All right, number 59, 159 is exhibits S-1 and S-1A through E to state supplemental response to requests for discovery regarding penalty phase experts. Okay, well, that was penalty phase. None of that shit even mattered unless we actually got the guilty verdict. So that stuff's sort of redundant. Okay, let me close this out. And this one, okay, where are we at now? 68 would be exhibit A to defendant's first supplemental response for discovery. Holy shit. The first supplemental response to discovery. God, that was so long ago. My God. Okay, 71, 72, and then 77. So 171 is something else from Lawrence Mowry. And then amended expert disclosure from Lawrence Mowry. We're still going to sit down. Today's Friday. I got to do some driving tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow night, unless new documents drop, we'll probably go live and go over Lawrence Mowry's testimony from that May 2024 timeframe hearing. That's what I wanted to do the other day, but we just got started so late. There was no way that I was going to make you all sit there for that long. So we'll do it separately. It's about like 45 minutes of his testimony. So now that we have all of the reports that shows all the bullshit with the SD card and everything else, going in and listening to what he has to say will be interesting. 77, exhibit T to defendant's 21st supplemental response for discovery. Okay. So these are the ones right here that they want to keep sealed. They don't care. They want it to be sealed. No redactions. And then they let it out. They apparently want to keep it out. Okay. So with regard to the following documents, the court received objections by one or both parties. Having considered the objections, the court agrees that their sealed status shall be maintained, which I don't really quite understand. Okay. So this is Exhibit C to Defendant's third supplemental response to request for discovery. This filing contains sensitive personal information of third parties, the release of which into the public realm would be highly objectionable to a reasonable person. Thus, they shall remain sealed. So why not just redact the names? Redact the freaking sensitive personal information. Redact the names. Redact anything that's personally identifying. Anything that would fall under HIPAA, redact it. But you know what doesn't fall under HIPAA? Cars, things that they drive, schools they go to. If they want to redact that shit too, have at it. But don't redact the entire, don't take the entire document completely away from the public because you don't want to spend some extra time redacting some names out of it. Or how much information is in it that it would be pointless to redact because it's just the whole thing. That's interesting. I don't know why they couldn't just block out the sensitive info. Number 110, which is the State's Exhibit S-7D from Douglas. Douglas is the guy from the feds that was going to come out and give us the information for the Amazon order. So that's probably what this is. Because what have we yet to see? The Amazon order receipt. Why? Why can't you just show it to us? I can go right now in my freaking app and take a screenshot of every order I've ever made since the beginning of my Prime account. All the way to the prehistoric era. All right. There's no reason for us not to have a screenshot or a printout, print to PDF, which you can do too. If you're on the computer on your Amazon thing, you can literally print to PDF or print to a paper your freaking order receipts. It's so wild. So then we have 113. And honestly, this is something that we still need to go back and talk about because when we were going through the exhibits, all that list stuff that came out, we saw that they had like a sample that they used at the grand jury for the knife in the knife sheath. And that bothers me because at the time of the grand jury, they had the physical sheath. So I'd understand sort of if they would have gone into Amazon and purchased everything again, like they said they did. We know they did. But only labeled the knife itself a sample, but they're labeling the sheath along with the knife a sample. Why wouldn't you just have the actual knife sheath present as an exhibit? You're supposed to be able to transport those things safely without them being contaminated. There's ways to do things. So why wouldn't you have used the actual sheath at the grand jury? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. We're going to have to go back and touch on that because as far as I understand in the dates from the reports of Brett Payne and I think it was Gilbertson being at the shop where the car was and he brings in the supplements and all the other bullshit, that was after the grand jury time frame. And we still don't have a date that those were ordered. We just know that they were. So that's something else that needs to be FOIA'd. When was the purchase made? When did they make the reorder? There's just a lot of very important timestamps. Okay. Then we have 113, which is defendant's exhibit in support of their objection to the state's motion in limine for the self-authentication of records. It's so interesting to me that this is a problem still, considering that the DoorDash isn't signed like Lucy Morningstar posted in her community tab. Did they ever get it signed? Did that person ever send in anything else? They haven't shown us. But apparently documents 100 and 113, both of these, are being held back because of grand jury material. They consist of federal grand jury material. See that word right there? This was not a state grand jury. This was a federal grand jury that ended up getting trickled down to the state. This is what we always thought. And we see this word pop up every now and then as a reminder of how stupid this case was handled. But they can't just go in and redact the couple of pieces that have something to do with the grand jury. They got to just hold the whole thing. But when it comes to authenticating your records of proof, you shouldn't be able to hold any of that back for any reason. Any reason. I'm going to go in and look up these rules separately, because at this point when it says 6E2, I don't know if this is like an Idaho rule, if it's a federal rule. It's being very vague. I don't want to sit here and look up stuff forever and maybe not find it for like 20 minutes. So I'm going to find it separately and maybe post it in like the community tab or something. Let me take a screenshot of this, because these are different rules. Okay, 123 is Exhibit D1-3 to defendant's response to state's motion in limine regarding neuropsychological and psychiatric evidence. So this would be already one of the documents that we did sort of see when it came to this information from Kohberger's side. There was already a whole lot that was super redacted. And I know that the temperature in the room, or how it felt anyway, was that they were trying to say that something had happened to Kohberger maybe as a child in his younger years, and they didn't want that information to kind of like be out there. Is sort of how it was like leaning with the little bit that they did show and how they were acting about it. So I don't know. It's very interesting. And I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to see more of that information or what. I know that a lot of you are still wanting us to go through his Quora entries from when he was a teenager about his visual snow, which I do still plan on doing that one of these days here, because it's interesting to see how it starts and then as it progresses and then how he ends his like journey there. It's just interesting all the way around. And then I'll know that a lot of you are still asking for us to go through his reports that he wrote for WSU, the ones that there were pictures of at his apartment that we can read. So at some point I do plan on going back. I have a whole list of stuff that you guys have been asking us to do. I promise I have not forgotten. It's just there's so much and the list just keeps growing. But anytime that you guys make a suggestion or want to look through something, I always write it down so that we can come back to it later if I see it. I don't always see everything. And just another note for that, whatever the frick that community tab thing is where you guys can go and post stuff, I can't see those. I cannot click anything and even see the original posting. I can see when people are commenting on it. I can comment on those people's comments, but I can't comment on the original post. And I know that some people, I honestly kind of want to turn that tab off. I don't know if I can, but I kind of want to turn it off because I can't see it. I don't get notifications for it. I can't interact with it. And I'm also seeing in some of the comments that some people are confused about what it is. And so when people will post something on there because it's in my community area, they'll think it's coming from me. And because I can't respond, if it's some sort of incorrect information, I can't respond that it's incorrect information and like point you to the right direction. So I kind of feel like that tab is a menace. I almost feel like that tab is a menace because I can't do shit with it. And some people think it's me posting in there and it's not. So I got to figure that out. I got to figure that out. Something's wrong with that. Okay. So then we have Exhibit 1 to defendant's objection to state's motion in limine regarding the 911 call. And again, they want to withhold it because of something that has to do with the grand jury. Again, why can't you just redact whatever portion of it is about the grand jury? Exhibit B to defendant's second supplemental response to discovery. This filing contains sensitive personal information. Again, why can't you just redact the personal information? Rebuttal, expert disclosures, deadline. Why are we dealing with a deadline? Why was there even a deadline paper like held back to begin with? This filing discloses sensitive and confidential health information of third parties that is private and protected. So it's not even Kohberger's health and sensitive HIPAA information. It's someone else's HIPAA information. That's weird. That's weird. Okay. Huh. I don't know. So then the next ones are documents to unseal and then also have redactions on them. And I'm not going to read all the things because we already know like the redactions, but we know like this is the ones that are the expert witness, the ones that they are going to give us, but they're going to redact them before they give them to us. The other ones, they're just going to like, there was objections, but they're going to put out anyway. Is that what the other ones were? Yeah, all of these right here. And then, okay, yeah, all of these that had the experts on them were the ones that they were arguing, but then the judge was like, no, we're not doing that. We're just not doing that at all. Okay. It's time for the next giveaway. This one is the money. This is the next $50 one. So let's do money. Done. Type in money. That's the next one, $50. Let me roll up in here and see if I see any questions that I've missed. Let this run while I try to see some questions. I know. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And it's the problem is that as the stuff is coming out, we're seeing how much of the stuff we were already told was lies and how much of it doesn't add up to the things they told us that it would. That's the problem. I know she definitely saw more things. See, like me and my buddy were talking again today about the whole Xana thing. And I also had a discussion about the Xana thing with somebody else closer to the case, and they're pretty pissed off. They were already really pissed off about the 8-hour delay, but then when they found out that Xana was seen by Dylan, all the way to the point of being able to see that they noticed that she had no pants on and saw clothes on the floor, like her room was dirty and all these things, they're super pissed now. Multiple people on that side are now like beyond super pissed. I don't know if anything's going to come from that. I just know that they're finally maybe all getting on the same page. And that's as far as I can say. But I just know that now there's people really super close to this case that are finally verbalizing how pissed off they are about Dylan's incompetence and obvious lies. So when it comes to Dylan, I still question, and I need to do a video about this because it's a valid ass question, and I would love somebody to answer it. I'm about to pop the winner. If Bethany would have never called Dylan and said, hey, did you hear that? Hey, did you hear this noise? Would Dylan have ever called Bethany and said, hey, I saw someone in the house? Because she never called Bethany and told her that. She never told her that. 128 entries. I'm about to flip it. I'm about to flip it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. TK1111. TK1111. You won $50. You won $50, TK. You've been here for a while. Yay! I just saw that you commented yay. Where's it at so I can put it up on the screen? Oh my God, where we go? There you go. Yay! And that is for the $50. Now, don't forget again, I can do a gift card to somewhere if that's what you guys would prefer. I have no issue being flexible with that because I know that not everybody has Cash App, not everybody has PayPal. Most people do have both of those. Those are pretty universal. But if you don't, we can work around that. We sure can. We can work all the way around that. Let me go get your info on the back real fast. Oh my God, the font gets like so much smaller once I open YouTube to like get the back end info. So I feel like my eyes go like, it's like so much littler. Okay, let me go ahead and get this real fast. Okay. Alrighty. All right, that's the third money giveaway. So in 15 minutes is when we're going to do the final merch giveaway. And it's going to be winner's choice. It'll be winner's choice. Here's my email again. For the hat, the cup, or the shirt. Oh my God, I can't type. There it is. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Okay. So when I get off live and I finally have a chance to sit down and check my emails, I'll get back to you guys if you've already written me. If not, then I'll respond to you as soon as I hear from you. Okay, 15 more minutes. And then we're going to do the last March giveaway. And then after that, we have the final $50 giveaway. Okay, let's get back to looking at this paper. Let's get back to this. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now so this is like a whole separate portion now down here. Okay. So these are going to just be they're going to be coming out, but there's going to be redactions. So when it comes to, again, penalty phase information, it contains expert reports and expert declarations containing sensitive and detailed confidential mental health information on the defendant and other individuals, which is the family, probably. That's also something else we need to actually kind of clarify, because they had like a psychological evaluation set up for all the family members, but then like in the notes, it makes it seem as if the stuff was set up and then it wasn't done, which is interesting. So I don't know. Okay. Defendants Exhibit 1A in support of affidavit and objection to state's motion in limine regarding text messages and testimony. Now, the only parts of this that's going to be redacted is the personal information, phone numbers, email addresses of the victims, of the witnesses, and any third parties. And it shows that when it comes to digits, they are going to cover up everything but the last four numbers. And the usernames of all the email addresses will be redacted. So it should be able to say blank at yahoo.com, blank at gmail.com, 2397 when it comes to like phone numbers. So it's not going to be completely redacted. They're not completely taking away the guts of everything. They're going to let us see the text messages. They're going to let us see the actual information minus phone numbers, email addresses, and that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if it actually isn't redacted and we get to see more text messages, because the state tried to very minimally give us stuff. And they're trying to make us believe that the girls woke up around like 10:20 and started doing stuff. It wasn't until the defense filed their version that they sent in that we saw that that was bullshit, and that the majority of everything really started at 7:30 in the morning between the both of them. Now, again, the court themselves and Taylor has said there's a small break in Bethany's, which is the 4:30 to the 7:30, 3 hours, but that Dylan's doesn't stop. Now, why they did not actually physically produce proof that Dylan was making movements on her phone between 4:30 and 7:30 in the public filing so far, I don't know. Maybe they were planning on presenting that stuff actually in court, because it's not like it's hidden from both sides. It's just not in a filing that they're obviously playing some sort of tit for tat for, to see who can actually put information in and who can still hold stuff back. It's like a game of who can actually do what, is how it feels like. So it'll be interesting to see more when it comes to what they were really doing, especially Dylan. Okay. Defendants replied to state's objection to motion in limine number 5. This says it has grand jury information in it. Again, so they're going to unseal it, but it's going to be redacted. So I wonder how much of these that have like this stuff. Okay, so see, if they can do that for these, if they can redact the grand jury information for these, why can't they redact the grand jury information for those other ones and actually give us the damn document? If they can do that for some, why can't they do that for others? I've wanted to, but I feel like they're going to have to release that on their own eventually. And I also feel like people have probably tried. I can try. I sure can try. I just don't know if they're going to be willing to do that until stuff further up in like the 23-ish year starts to maybe get redacted. I will try. I can, that's all, I can try. All we can do is see what they say. I have a feeling they won't do it though. If they would just release stomach contents on Xana, that would help a lot with a lot of shit. Because if they could actually physically prove that she ingested what would have been considered Jack in the Box, it would have literally been noticeable. Like, I'm sorry, this is going to get really graphic, but once they went into her stomach and took the stomach contents out of her stomach, her acids would not have even done anything to that food. It would have looked as if she chewed it and spit it out, and that's what it looked like. You would have been able to tell if it was a piece of a hamburger. You would have been able to tell if it was Jack in the Box curly fries. You would still be able to physically see what it is because of the short time frame. Now, granted, it was in her stomach in the acid for 8 hours before the 911 call was made, and then it's all the way getting up there. I'm pretty sure that the acid continues to do what the acid continues to do, so maybe that is a little bit irrelevant. But regardless, every other function in her body would have stopped. So whatever would have been going on in her stomach with the acid, it probably would have just been sitting there. It wouldn't have gone and started moving through her digestive tract. So maybe it would have actually been more mush than anything. Maybe I'm thinking the opposite there. I don't know. I've never opened a body. Maybe I need to ask Joe Scott Morgan that question. I might ask him that question. But stomach contents would answer a lot. I know that the elongated time between the 911 call doesn't help a lot either. But it would answer so many questions. I mean, I don't know if they could even answer questions other than I'm like sitting here thinking deeper about what the freaking body does. I'm going to have to ask somebody. And I don't know if Joe Scott Morgan follows me on Twitter because he actually likes the way that I do shit, or if he's only following me out of spite for Nancy Grace. I've said that before. I don't know if he follows me because he actually likes me, or if he's following me because Nancy blocked me and he's scouting me out for her. I don't know. But he's like the one person I could think of that I could ask, because regardless of how he is with Nancy Grace, I've listened to him and his podcast for years, and I've always really liked the way that he, like, his thought process. I could try. Oh God, I could try. I'm like thinking to myself, like, do I really want to attempt to reach out to him for this? I guess I could really just call like a local person, or maybe not a local person. Maybe I'll call somebody at one of the big cities and ask that question very specifically about stomach contents sitting in a stomach for hours before the autopsy and what it would do. I think that those specifics are extremely important, even though they sound disgusting. I don't want to ask ChatGPT. I tried to not as much as possible. 10 more gifted memberships. Holy shit, Juliet. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's very thoughtful. I do too. I love his thoughts. I love the way he thinks. I think he's very intelligent. I think he knows his shit. But when him and Nancy Grace get together, sometimes he pushes back, and sometimes I'm like, Joe, what are you doing? I don't even know what to think. I mean, I know, and that's what bothers me, because I'm like, how have you not sat? There's no way. See, that's my problem. When it comes to stuff he does, like in real life, like he's handled so many cases, right? When it comes to stuff that he does in real life, he seems very intelligent. But when it comes to a lot of these cases that he gets paid to be on Nancy's panel for, I don't think he really digs into them. I think he gets whatever Cliff Notes get sent to him from Nancy's research team, skims over the shit enough to be able to make a comment, and then he leaves it at that. It's a job. To me, that's what it is for him, my opinion. If he's actually sat down and read the actual evidence, I don't think he would think that. But then again, he's not a detective. He's a medical guy. He is only supposed to be, it's just like the guy from Othram. He had no freaking right, no jurisdiction, no freaking nothing. He had no right to make a comment about the amount of DNA at the scene. The only thing that Mr. must have been high on something staring into the camera the way that he was, Othram man, okay, again, my opinion, something was wrong with him. You cannot watch the way that him and his wife did that little interview at Comic-Con and not think that he's not on something. His face never changes. He has this blank stare on his face the entire time. He's just looking. It's really creepy, honestly, the way that he's just like sitting there and she's like looking back at him, trying to get him to interact with her as she's saying stuff. And he's just like sitting there. And that's not something that a stoner does the way that like I've seen. It was something else. I don't even know. But he had no right making a comment because what he got was a magnified copy that was created at ISP from the knife sheath DNA. And again, considering the fact that the swab for the knife sheath DNA was submitted twice, meaning 2 different Q-tips, 2 different swabs, no real details, still trying to get that information. That's another FOIA that we have to send in. Info on why was there a swab sent in twice? What was the need for the resubmission? And why was that never brought up in court? I don't remember that ever being talked about. I don't remember the court ever mentioning the fact that the Q-tip for the knife swab was a resubmission, but we damn sure see in the ISP records that it's the only one with the resubmission box checked off on the entire list. I don't remember them ever mentioning that at all. So we need the details on that because that's the one piece of evidence they actually have that they can slap Kohberger's name on. Allegedly, because, you know, the profile that they used, the profile created at the FBI that they used illegally to you go on these websites and find the match was deleted. They deleted the profile that they created, and there apparently wasn't ever enough for the defense to be able to go back and do the testing themselves. This is literally a trust me bro situation. Literally. This is like the definition of a trust me bro situation. No, I'd be damned. I'd be damned and I'd be damned some more. I'd be damned some more. But let's get back to this. I can just go on 25,000 rants on this damn case. It really drives me freaking insane. It really does. But again, if they can sit here and say that they are going to unseal documents but redact certain portions because of grand jury, then why can't they do that with the rest of them that they're using the grand jury for the reasoning for keeping them? I don't understand. They should be able to do both. So then we have Seat Miller, Maycheck, and Dace White. I don't think I ever heard this name right here before. Maybe they're an expert witness that was mentioned in passing. I'm not really quite sure. So their stuff is going to be redacted to a certain point, but it's going to come out. And then we have exhibits 1, 2, 3 in support of motions in limine regarding vague and undisclosed expert testimony, which would be documents 96, 98, 106, 107, and 140. Consist of forensic science reports documenting DNA testing and analysis performed on various items of evidence gathered by law enforcement for purposes of excluding certain third-party witnesses as potential contributors. While the scientist's summary of conclusions and biology analysis notes will be unsealed, the remaining portions of the filings will be redacted. And it's like a footnote for the Bates numbers. So does that mean like we're just not going to be able to see like the names of the people? It's going to be probably something that we can go into the over 2,300 pages of forensic information and compare things to. So that'll be something else that we'll have to throw some comparisons at. Then we have exhibits 1 through 4 to state's response to defendant's motion in limine. Number 7, it says this filing contains personal phone numbers of the victims, witnesses, and third parties. So they're going to redact it, do the last 4 digits probably like they did before. Yeah. And then S4 contains information, actual. Oh, Oh. S4 to this filing will be redacted in its entirety as it is a transcript of grand jury testimony provided in this case. What do we have to do to get that? What do we have to do to get the grand jury transcripts? Why are they making it like impossible? I mean, I don't honestly know if that's, do those ever come out? Is there ever a time that you guys know? Let me look at the chat for a second. Has there ever been, that's right there. That's what I'm saying. Have you guys ever seen a case? Say, oh, that's a problem right there. So we're never, ever, 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 ever going to get this. There's nothing that can ever be done for us to get this. Ever. That's what I was worried about. The toxicology report has not come out yet. There is no toxicology report. And if someone's telling you there is, they're not being honest because there is no toxicology report. We had Howard Bloom come out and say something that made no sense. But as for a full-on toxicology report, we don't have that. That'll be something that we'll release with the autopsy. The Department of Defense is funding University of Idaho research. What? That's crazy. That's wild. Okay. That's crazy. Into PTSD. Why? No one there has PTSD. Out of all the funding they were given, they spent $3,000 on counseling. And if Dylan has PTSD, where? In her pinky nail? In the tip of her pinky nail? Because she's going to parties, she's drinking, she's not protecting herself. She's in all of these sorority parties with her smile and surrounded by people, surrounded by all these people, not watching her surroundings, not doing all the things that she cried and whined about in court that she's doing. No, she's not. She's been out there living her best life like Gypsy Rose the entire time. And how much has her GoFundMe given her? Over $120,000, right? Like, come on. Bullshit. 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 Name one pill Dylan's on. That's what I want to know. What medicines are you on, Dylan? Because if you can give me some actual names that mean something, then I'll maybe believe you. Because I can see quite a few that she would maybe need to be on if she was severely so effed up from this. And as far as we're understanding, she plays video games and parties and doesn't take anything. Now, we do know, I think it was the 11/17 interview. That's something else that we still need to go through and section out everywhere where she was answering a question where there was minutes of silence, because I think it was about her previous issues. Because remember, she's claiming that she's had dreams about being chased and being killed because she watches all these shows. Like, basically the scene that she laid out to the police is something that she claims that she has dreams of on a daily basis. It's literally like she's just like speaking about whatever she saw on TV or whatever she saw in her own head. Everything about Dylan is sus as shit. And I don't really care how bad her daddy might get mad about it. Okay. Your daughter is suspicious as shit. And frankly, so are you, because you didn't even give a damn about showing up to any of the court hearings until the very first one about the plea. According to the Goncalveses? Or was it like the one right before that? It was right after the information about Dylan's bullshit came out and he like showed up magically for the first time ever to court. Every time I think about that girl, I get mad. And I really still question, and I'm going to remain questioning. If Bethany would not have called you about hearing some damn noise outside, I mean, hearing some freaking noise that freaked her out, would you have even said anything to her about seeing someone in all black? Would you have? I don't think she would have. I really don't. All right. We're going to go ahead and do the last merch giveaway. Again, this is going to be winner's choice, and the word is merch. M-E-R-C-H. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. So, and again, this will be winner's choice. So you can do one of the hats, pom-poms, one of the t-shirts. I did make kid shirts because someone asked me to make kid shirts. So there's like long sleeve and short sleeve shirts for kids. This one, is this short sleeve or long sleeve? Is it going to show it? This one's short sleeve with no words on it. I just didn't feel like the kids needed the words on it. And I think this one has the words and it's long sleeve. This one was specific. Someone messaged me and asked me for the monkey with everything is alleged, long sleeve for a child. So I went ahead and posted that one. But the one that I did myself right here, I just wanted it to be like vague because it's kind of like just a cute kid shirt. But some people wanted them really, really specific, which I had no issue doing either. All right, we're about to flip this. As soon as it hits to 37, we're going to run it. 104 giveaways. 104 entries. Oh, thank you for the 10, Jess. Posted something in the community tab, not realizing you couldn't. I can't see shit on it. I can see like half of a sentence, but when I go to interact with it, the only option I have is to report or delete. And since y'all are having like conversations in it, I don't want to delete it. Oh, okay. I don't know if it's going to let you put something long in here. You might have to email it to me if it's going to be super, super long. You might have to actually email it to me. All right, I'm going to choose a winner. Ready? Here we go. Carrie! Carrie! Carrie won. Carrie won. Yeah, the comments have like a restriction, so I don't know if it's going to let you say the full thing. But if you email me, I am planning on sitting down today and trying to get the emails for the winners at least out. So if you want to email it to me, it'll be easier for me to see it. I am going to take about an hour today because it's Friday. I'm going to sit down for about an hour and go through my emails. So if anybody's been emailing me and haven't heard from me yet, hopefully today I'll get to them. It's really difficult for me to be able to swim through all of the bullshit and all of the real stuff. Because there's like a group of crazy people, okay, legitimately bonkers, that are on the level of the channel that we just had a bunch of complaints about. Okay, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. And she runs, these multiple people run on the same damn email threads as the crazy lady, the crazy channel person. And it's bombardment constantly. A lot of new creators don't realize how much they have got to just delete and block when they first start following the case, because it's like they go in droves to these new channels to throw all of this shit at them that makes no sense. There's so much stuff that they throw in these emails, and it makes you wonder if they are like Aussie level substance users. Like, it's not even a joke about how severe and questionable the shit is that gets sent to me on a daily basis. And it's not just me, because I see the email threads. I see how many people are actually like CC'd, and it'll be like 25 creators, just guilters and innocent people alike, just getting bombarded with, I don't even know. So it's really hard for me to wade through the stuff that is from somebody who's just paying attention to the case and has questions. Not so much now, because you do know the names, but they get crazy and they switch up the names. They switch up their names and they switch to new emails and they do all kinds of crazy shit, and it's just crazy. And yeah. So I'm sorry if I don't get right back to you, but it's really like not good for my mental health to go through my emails. I'm actually thinking about changing the email for the channel to a different server completely that can better filter out bullshit like that. Because if you're sending an email out that has like all these freaking people on it, I don't want it. If you're not trying to talk to me specifically because you just want my opinion, I don't want your email. If you've got multiple people on that shit, I don't want it. Divert. All right, let's see where we're going. Let's get back to this. And we're going to do 15 more minutes, and then that'll be the last $50 giveaway. Yep. That'll be the last one. Alrighty. Now let's see. Okay, so we have... Okay, see right here when it comes to the text messages and the testimony and the text messages right here. Can I make this bigger for y'all to be able to see it better? Because I can be smaller. I don't care. I can be tinier. We vote for leggings. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. I can try to do some like all over print type, I guess. It'll be interesting to work on. It'll definitely be different because it's going to be a whole different template. I've never done all over print, so it'll be interesting. But I can do that and give me some creativity time, which I like. It's like my arts and crafts, you know. It's like my arts and crafts. Welcome, Wild Angel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Now you guys can see this a bit better. Okay. So when it comes to the text messages, it says everything but the last 4 digits of the phone numbers and the actual name itself of the @Gmail, @Yahoo, @Hotmail, whatever is going to be redacted. It doesn't say anything about any of the actual information being kept from us any further. Like we should be able to read their actual messages. And I'm really hoping that also means Dylan's messages with her father that were supposed to be submitted. So then we have expert testimony again. And this is about credit card information and bank account numbers belonging to the defendant and his family members. Remember, they try to tell us that after the crime, he started like pulling cash. And then we found out from them dropping more information that they had dates of him using his card all the way into Pennsylvania and that was a lie. All the lies they told. All the freaking lies. Proof of service, no contact order. So I don't really know why they felt the need to even like redact these. Like obviously dates of birth and like that kind of stuff. But we know like the people that are supposed to be getting these. So unless someone new is on these, no contact orders. I don't know. It'll be pretty interesting. These are like different rules. I don't think I've seen these before. So these will be some of the other things I'll be trying to get the basics for and posting them over in the community tab. So now we have Exhibit S-1 through S-13 to state submitted supplemental response to request discovery for expert testimony. Within this filing are grisly images from the crime scene, the disclosure of which would be highly objectionable. Okay, so this basically is going to fall under the same rules as the bedroom stuff from Maddie's mom, the one that the Chapins piggybacked on, the lawsuit. But it just says they're going to be redacted. The images appear on pages 9 through 20, 23 through 24, 42 through 62, 70 through 72, and 82 of these exhibits, and then more pages right here. So I wonder if they're going to show anything of them or if they're just going to be black boxes. What expert testimony, though? I don't know what expert testimony this is. From back in March of 2025. I'll have to go in and see if I can see who this is. Okay, so then Exhibits 1 and 2 in support of motion to strike death penalty for the autism spectrum disorder. Honestly, I don't really care about this kind of stuff. I mean, I know that it matters if we would have gone to trial, but at this point, I only really care about the evidence, the actual factual stuff. I understand the autism stuff is important if they would have fought the death penalty and whatever. But to me, the evidence, the actual facts is way more important to me. Exhibits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in support of motion in limine regarding excluding IgG evidence. You mean the lie that Judge Hippler told them to create? Portions of Exhibit 1 and 4 in this filing disclose the names and dates of birth of individuals identified by Author Labs through investigative genetic genealogy as potential genetic relatives to the DNA left on the knife sheath. The 4 long-distance cousins that were brothers. I really would love to know why they stopped at 1. I'd like to know why they stopped at 1. Because they could have contacted multiple of the brothers. They got 1 rejection by one of the brothers that they contacted to do a thing for, and they like didn't bother contacting the other 3 to see if they would be willing. They didn't bother contacting another family member that they found related to those brothers to then go and start doing it from. They just stopped there on the one. People that do it for familial IGG don't stop at freaking one. That's lazy work, Othram. No wonder you're wrong about like so many things you come out and talk about, like so serious. I mean, yeah, go ahead. But see, this is stupid. Why are we redacting email addresses of law enforcement personnel? Are we serious? If you are a public servant, your email address should be out there to the public. Why are you hiding police officer email addresses? That's crazy. So then we have conditions as an aggravator when it comes to mental health and private information. Again, we're trying to focus on the evidence stuff here. Okay, so now we have another document for the state's motion in limine regarding text messages and testimony. Now let's see what this says. For the reasons articulated in number 92 supra, all but the last 4 digits of phone numbers and the usernames, okay, the same. Okay, so then we have this one right here. In addition, Exhibit S2 will be redacted in its entirety. Again, it's a transcript of the grand jury testimony. Someone needs to leak the grand jury stuff. And I bet you it was recorded. I bet you it was recorded. Somebody needs to leak the grand jury stuff with a quickness. Por favor and gracias. State's motion in limine for the 911 call. Exhibit S1 from this filing will be redacted in its entirety because it's a transcript from the grand jury testimony. Again, why can't you just... I just don't understand. I hate this so much. Transcript of hearing held. Okay. It will be unsealed as redacted. What? This document was filed in redacted form. Thus, it will be unsealed as redacted. So it was never filed without redactions, the transcript? I'm about to go in and see what exactly is redacted because I didn't see much of anything on there. Now I'm just really curious, but that's also interesting. Okay. Proposed redactions to January 23rd closed hearing transcript references is made within this filing to the last name of individuals identified by Othram Labs through investigative genetic genealogy. So that's the brothers. The last name will be redacted. And remember, it's not Kohberger. It's not Kohberger. Exhibits continue to state's rebuttal to defendant's supplemental discovery response regarding expert witnesses, grisly images again. I guess we'll see how they choose to redact those. Okay, so crime scene photos from expert witnesses motions. Supplemental response to request for discovery regarding expert witnesses, and it shows sensitive photos with exhibits and Bates numbers. See, so freaking many. Oh my God. Health information for who? Does it say? It usually says if it's third party or if it's the victims or if it's the defendant, and it doesn't say this time. Okay, so Exhibit D13B will be redacted in its entirety. All but the last 4 digits of personal phone numbers that show up in these exhibits. Grand jury testimony, testing and analysis. Why would DNA testing and analysis itself be redacted? It better just be the names. We should be able to see the layout. We should be able to see the actual analysis, the way that we have the touch DNA and the ISB reports. There'd be no reason for them not to show us that part. Like, block out the names, but you should be able to still show us how you connected the dots. And again, why are we hiding these? I'm going to have to look into this right here because I was under the impression my entire life that if you are in a government position, your email address is on like the city websites and in directories that are on the public websites. So why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? Court minutes. References are made during this hearing to the names of ancestors identified by Othram Labs through investigative genetic genealogy as potential genetic relatives to the knife sheath DNA. References will be redacted. And it shows the timestamp. So that's like the court minutes itself. Okay. Then we have the no contact orders, 2 different no contact orders, and then one being amended, multiple of them being amended. Dates of birth. Okay. That seems to be it for that then. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see the way that this information is actually given out. It'll be interesting for sure. Because there's a lot in here we have questions for. And if they're only going to redact the like everything but the last 4 digits of the text messages and stuff like that, we should be able to see the conversations and the movements. Oh, thank you for the 5 again, Jess. Okay, as soon as I get off this, I'm going to go into the kitchen for a few minutes, and then I'm going to sit back down and start going through my emails. So I should be able to get back to you tonight. Okay, we have 4.5 more minutes before we do the last $50 giveaway, guys. 4 minutes. 4 more minutes till the last giveaway, and then we're going to go ahead and get off of here for the night. I'm going to figure out either tonight or tomorrow what we're going to do for the weekend. Again, I know I want to go over Mallory's testimony from back in May of 2024, and I am for sure going to be posting the WSU footage in the morning. I know that I have some driving to do tomorrow. I don't know what time we're going to leave the house. I don't know what time we're going to be back. It's just one of them things. We got to go do something, and it's just when we feel like doing it. But it's something that's going to keep me on the road and away from the house for like 7 hours or so. So I'm just not really quite sure what time we're going to go live. I will know when I get home, and I'll have it ready to go. But in the morning, I'll definitely drop those thingies. I do have another video on my second channel that I'm going to be getting out. I probably need to finish it tonight and get it out and get ready for tomorrow. It's pretty much done minus like one little piece. Because for some reason a part of the one story I was saying like got lost in the sauce. So I have to finish that one. So don't forget that I have that second channel, because like we deep dive over here in like the Idaho case and like other stuff, but I talk about other stuff going on in the world over there too. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to sit down and go through my emails today. For sure. What if the Pullman footage Molly had said? Well, that's the thing, is that she did say that. Oh, like in the Pullman stuff, if she would have been honest, it would have been really interesting just on itself, because at that point we hadn't heard anything about the DoorDasher seeing Bryan, seeing a white car, none of that. We were just questioning the DoorDash in general. It wasn't until she came out with that bullshit that she became a bigger problem. So if she would have come out and said it was a tan sedan, the guy had reddish blonde hair, and that's what she would have said in the video, then it would have still been interesting, because that's not Kohberger. It sounds more like Jack Decor, just like the description, but not the car. But there's a lot of people that have that color hair. He's just the only one that's real prominent right now. Also Barriocha. Barriocha has that kind of hair. But I don't know why she said that. And like every ounce of me wants to say it's because she's a snitch. She's someone that they know will say whatever the frick they want her to say. And they've proven that by giving both the state and the defense a narrative, not a narrative, an order to create a narrative about the IGG they could sleep with that night. And they were going to have Brett Payne get on the stand, go under oath, whichever hand he goes under, and say that the feds had nothing to do with anything, because the feds weren't even going to be mentioned. And that makes no sense to me, because the feds did everything in this case. The grand jury was a federal grand jury. The feds did the downloads of the phones. The feds identified the freaking car. The feds gave them Bryan Kohberger's name. The feds told them not to ask the suspect why he did it, because it wouldn't make sense. The feds did this. For some reason, the feds did this. There was a Fed on scene before Chief Fry even got back into town that day. And according to his interviews, that same Fed magically showed up in his doorway right as he was having a conversation about needing to call the FBI in because they were in over their heads. Why was the FBI so prominent in everything there, along with the university? What needed to be covered up? What needed to be discussed? What was being organized? Explain all of that. The FBI did everything in this case. They did the IGG, did all of it. And everything when it comes to them was basically just going to be taken off book. except for when it came to the Amazon order. Instead of having an Amazon person come out and explain anything really, or just producing the damn receipt. They were going to have some stupid agent come out and talks about clicks and shit that don't even matter. I'd be damned. I'd be damned. All right. We're at the last $50 giveaway, guys. Let me go back and reset it to money. And this is going to be the last one of the night. Money. Get ready. Start typing money right now. Money, money. This is going to be for $50. 50 buckaroony-roos. It is going to be interesting to see all these damn documents come out, though. It's going to be busy. That's why I don't understand these idiots that come in here and they're like, why are you still talking about this case? He pled guilty. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, no one told your funky ass to come over here for one. And I get these comments in every live, every video, every community post, literally every single one. At least one dumbass comes in and says, why are you still talking about this case? He pled guilty. It's over. No, there's new footage. There's new documents. It's not over. There's more things to go over. The evidence is just now coming out, you stupid Neanderthal. I can't stand those stupid people. And I really feel like these idiots that are bitching that we're out here talking about the case so much are literally in the comments on YouTube in this case more than we are. Because they're fucked up in the head. They're like dot people. I'm glad that like I said, I'm a bitch, but I'm glad that like I am the way that I am because I'm an asshole, but I have common sense. And I don't have any weird obsessions. I don't think I've ever had a weird obsession. Like the most I've ever been obsessed with is AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys as a child, okay? People get into this case and act like crazy people. Crazy people. And just because we're trying to find the truth, it ain't got shit to do with you or me or your mama or your sister or your brother or your daddy or anybody else. It has to do with these victims and the truth. So I don't know why people get so stupid. Like, you got something to hide? Do you feel offended by something, you weirdo? All right, I'm about to flip it. About to flip it. Ready? I'm about to flip it. 1, 2. Stone Enchantress. Stone Enchantress. Congratulations. 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 Let me write this down. Yay! Yay! All right, let me get the back end stuff real fast. Let me grab this. Where's the link? Right there. Okay, I have your comment highlighted. So where's it at? Where'd it go? Oh gosh. Do live chat again. There you go, right there. Okay, let me get this info. Okay. Oh, you are a content person. Oh, you've got some videos here. She's got some. I don't know what this person's view is of the stuff that she's got on her channel, but I will put a link for Stone Enchantress's channel in the thing because it looks like she does have like some videos on her channel where she goes through looking at Linda Lane. Some of the other footage, possible like the floor being wet inside the house. So in case you guys want to go over there and take a look at that stuff, y'all have that link where y'all can go and take a look and see if there's anything over there. I do know that there's a lot of questions about what really went on in that freaking living room. For sure. For sure. Okay, you guys. That was fun. I like giving away stuff. It makes it exciting. And we had how many winners today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 winners. 8 winners. All right, you guys. Let me put my email address in here one more time for those who need to contact me. Right there. Right there. Ooh, these hiccups are killing me. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you so much for the 50,000 subscribers. That's awesome. I didn't even think about those things when I started all this. I just wanted to get my opinion out there. I didn't even think about that kind of stuff. But as it's just like grown, it's becoming like, wow, so this is happening. That's kind of cool. It's pretty cool. I honestly never thought of myself as a YouTube person. I never really did social media. I didn't like post and do videos or trends or any weird shit like that. I've never been that type of person. So this was an interesting left for me. This was an interesting left for me. But you know, $60,000 worth of a degree that is sitting there doing nothing. I needed to put some sort of something in criminal thinking somewhere. And I feel like I have the detailed brain for it, I guess. Maybe sometimes I see too much into certain things, but I do know that it's very hard to get one over on me. Even my stupid ex, the one with all the problems, has always admitted that he could never hide things from me. I'd always find out when he was up to some effery. Pretty much everyone has admitted that. Even like stuff with my mom's ex-husband. Well, I guess they were married when he passed away, but even stuff with him. Like, I just always knew. I could always just find out. So why not just put all that stuff together in one thing? It's been fun, but it's been horribly sad. Been fun and sad. It's a very strange feeling being a true crime content creator. It's a very strange feeling. Because it's interesting. You like doing it, but the more that you dig into stuff, the sadder everything is. And you also get really desensitized to things. I mean, I would kind of feel like I was already sort of desensitized because just personally I've been through a lot of shit in my life. But to see like the rampant state of chaos in the world, it definitely, when you immerse yourself in it 24/7, it definitely is different. But I just put some music on and sing a couple songs late at night. I'm sure my neighbors appreciate that because I'm pretty loud. But it helps. Music's always helped. But yeah. Thank you so much for you guys being in here. I really appreciate all of you guys. And I appreciate how y'all have common sense. It's really rare these days. Especially since the pandemic. I don't know what the frick happened. And just erase. It's been wild. Again, thank you so much for being in here. Congratulations to all of you guys that won. Thank you so much for those who have showed this channel so much freaking support over the past 3 years. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for the people that are members, who became members, who gifted memberships, who gave super chats and super stickers, who sent other stuff. I know I've had a few emails and stuff go off, but I haven't been able to check anything. But I do appreciate every single one of you, even those of you who just come in here and watch, that don't do anything else. That's all I really care about, is the truth of anything getting out there, which is why I say, like, I rant a lot, and I rant a lot in the lives. But when it comes to the information, I don't even want y'all sharing the lives where we're talking. I just want you to share the raw clips that don't even have my face on them, because that's where all the important information goes. That's where all the information is. And it really tells you someone's character when they go on videos that are just evidence, that's a video clip that you're not talking in, that you're not giving an opinion on, and they thumbs down it, or they make some sort of shitty comment about how we're crazy because we're still going over stuff. How dare you do this to the families? I'm not even talking in these. All of those footages, go in the comments. You'll see them. I don't delete them. I run my mouth right back because I think it's funny how stupid people are. They complain even when I'm not saying anything. My face isn't even on the thumbnail. My face is not in the entire video. And they complain and call me names and say we're crazy and pathetic and how dare you and all these things. I didn't even say anything. What are you talking about, you freaking psychopath? So you have to have a thick skin, but you also have to stand up for yourself being out here too. It's really not for the faint of heart. Like, you really just got to do the most right back at people. It seems like. Okay, I'm gonna go make a tea and then sit back down. I'm gonna get back to emails. Message me so I can get y'all's winnings. And again, for those of you who got the $50, if you don't have PayPal or Cash App, we can figure out like a gift card thing. Not a problem. Everything with gift cards is like e-gift cards these days. So we can make that work. I've done it before. I have no problem making it flexible again. Thank you again so much for you guys that showed up in here today and that have been following along forever. Or even if you just showed up today, thank you for that too. But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here now. Let me go ahead and roll this out. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.